We've scoured the internet to bring you the ultimate in life hacks, bonkers inventions, and crazy contraptions designed to make your life easier, more exciting, and definitely more fun. And we've summoned a team of experts with science brains and funny bones to explain everything. From the ridiculous to the sublime. And make sure you strap in for the grand finale at our very own Hack HQ, where we create and construct an epic stunt, our very own supersized solutions to life's problems, big and small, with the help of Mike Sansom, pyrotechnician, chemist and engineer, and his human guinea pigs, Marcus Bronzy and Stephen Grant. For now, sit back, relax, and put your feet up. Let us do the hard work so you don't have to. This is how hacks work. In this episode, we're reaching for our rucksacks and heading for adventure as we unearth some of the best survival tips the internet has to offer.
There is a rule of 3, which is we can survive for 3 minutes without oxygen, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food.
From starting fires to bow hunting, you'll be running around like Rambo, or at least thinking you look like Rambo in no time. And for our epic survival hack, Mike, with the help of human guinea pig Stephen, will be showing us how to turn up the heat on your next adventure.
We've always got to put effort in to show how much it takes to start a fire, and this is much easier.
Finding food is key to surviving in the wild. But anyway, rather than listen to me droning on, let's meet a man who brings a whole new meaning to fly fishing.
Oh my gosh. Holy cows.
I absolutely love this clip, mainly because of the guy catching the fish, but also because the science involved is quite interesting. I can't believe he brought in that giant fish with that tiny little drone. Fantastic.
Holy crab apples.
This is absolutely my favourite clip, purely on the joy in that man's heart when he realised he'd caught a fish.
Oh my gosh! Marion!
It's always a good sign when the guy giving the demonstration of his invention is visibly shocked that it worked.
I was impressed with it. I did think actually that's a good way of getting, because if you're casting a line out from the beach, there's only so far you can get, but you go with the drone, you can get a lot further.
Marion! Marion!
I can't believe she missed it.
Come here!
Big fish, tiny drone. How does that work?
You'd have thought you need a giant drone, but the reality is you're not actually trying to lift the fish up vertically, which is what you might really think about a drone. You're trying to move it horizontally, so you've cut down the force required by a huge amount. So in reality, if you wanted to pull in a small whale, it's not out of the question. It's just you might have to wait a really, really long time to get it to the shore. So a drone could do it if you're a very skilled drone operator and a fisherman. How he caught it before dragging in the fish, I have no idea.
Didn't think anything was going to work, let alone a fish. This is the biggest fish of my life. Go. And it's off.
This one definitely raises the sport of fishing to new heights. A sure hit. Unless you're a fish, obviously. No modern survivalist leaves a house without their phone these days. They're loaded with maps, information, radio contact, and survival gizmos to rescue you from any sticky patch. Of course, if you don't charge them, you may as well be carrying around a very small, very expensive brick. This next hack helps turn your humble watch into a life-saving directional device.
Of course, I'm indoors, so that makes the sun thing trickier.
Surely this is only a useful way of finding your way if you're aiming for either the Arctic or the Antarctic.
I like to get out to the Antarctic at least twice a year, actually, Laura.
So when we're in the northern hemisphere, the sun is always pointing south at the middle of the day. However, when you're in the southern hemisphere, you're looking at the sun from a different angle. So actually in the middle of the day, the sun's pointing north.
North is always the way I'm facing. So north well, honestly, it keeps moving. North is... North.
I would 100% not want to be lost in the woods with this man. This hack is only handy for people who know where they're going, which is not very common when you're lost. An utterly useless miss. we know which of these hacks are really worth your time and effort. Over at Hack HQ, Mike and his trusty and very trusting guinea pig Stephen are going to be using all their survival instincts to show us some epic hack work. I just hope Stephen actually survives. Making fire is Survival 101, and at our very own Hack HQ, Mike has a few tricks up his sleeve to help turn up the temperature around your campfire. Over to you, Mr. Firestarter.
Right, we're going to make some fire. And I've made a pump drill to do this.
See, I looked at you and I heard you say the word pump drill and I got excited and I looked down and I saw that. What is that?
Right, let me show you, okay? That's the hole we're going to start with. Now, this is called a pump drill.
Right.
And it basically drills when you pump it.
Oh, that's why they call it a pump drill.
So this makes fire how?
Come round here.
Right.
Grab hold of this.
Yep.
Not this, no this.
This?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm going to twist this.
Okay.
So it brings it all the way up. And then you're going to pump it down.
Yeah.
And with this turning round in a circle, you'll pump it down again and keep pumping away until we start fire, okay?
Right, all right, okay.
Right, got it?
Got it.
Look at that smoke!
Ah, damn. Right, the only time I ever do this motion is with a coffee percolator, and I push it down once,
Right.
and then I go and have a coffee.
All right.
Rambo really does have nothing on you, Stephen.
Mike,
Yeah.
please make it stop.
I think you just gave up too soon, to be honest. Anyway, I've got some much better things to show you, so...
What, so we're not going to make fire anymore?
No, we'll make fire, but I've got some much easier things.
Easier?
Oh, yeah.
Now was the time.
Look, come with me, I'll show you.
Coming!
We'll return to our very own Hack HQ cavemen later in the show. So far, we've shown you how to catch your lunch.
Marion!
And how not to get lost if it all goes south.
North.
But still to come, we've got a swinging rope hack and some hunger and a thirst busting hacks to send your way. Food, drink, rope. Honestly, what more do you need? Water. Pure, life-giving, crystal clear, heavenly water. Except when it's all dirty. Then it's horrible. But this hack will help you turn the filthiest water back into a life-saving tipple. And it's all thanks to evaporation. When the sun's rays hit the water, they transform the surface layer into a gas, which rises up into the top bottle before condensing back into water. This clean water then collects in the top bottle and voila, a refreshing drink.
This water might look quite clean because actually everything that was visually dirty about the water will have been left behind when the water was evaporated. However, bacteria are so small that they will actually get carried in the small droplets of water into the top bottle.
So even clear water isn't quite as transparent as we thought. Honestly, can you trust anything in this world?
I would drink the dirty water and just let nature take its course. Ah! That's hydration.
No, Russell, that's desperation.
There is a rule of 3, which is we can survive for 3 minutes without oxygen, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food.
It's really important you don't get those mixed up. With no water, you soon become dehydrated. This can make you feel really tired, but that's not all. It can also give you a headache because your brain temporarily shrinks and physically pulls away from your skull. You also stop producing saliva, and this can give you really bad breath. With less water in your blood pressure drops, so your heart tries to boost it by pumping faster and faster. And, bringing up the rear, dehydration can cause toilet troubles, such as dark urine and even constipation.
I'd 100% drink that water, yeah. I'm quite lax about water and stuff. I just assume it'll probably be all right, which is an error because I have irritable bowel syndrome.
Yes, Laura, a huge error. There is no way a hack that literally stops you from dying is not going to be a hit. Ask any survivalist and he'll tell you he doesn't go anywhere without a good rope. But if you're in a rush for some rope, here's how to make one and save the planet at the same time.
What are you going to do with that? You can't tie that in a knot. That's going to cut your fingers to ribbons. I don't know if this man has used rope before or is familiar with the concept of rope. This isn't rope.
It struck me that this is a very eco-friendly way of binding the wrists or ankles of a hostage.
It sounds like this rope isn't up to much, unless you're an eco-friendly kidnapper. Is plastic really the way to go, though?
I don't really understand this hack. I think it's a great way to take off a thumb, but I think there's lots of fibres in nature, bits of plant and things that make a much better rope.
This rope hack really does leave me hanging, I'm afraid. A huge miss. There's nothing more embarrassing than dying of hunger in the wilderness because you've forgotten your tin opener. Luckily, someone's come up with a solution to avoid this embarrassment.
What he's doing is putting a lot of force on the top lip of the can, and he's bending it backwards and forwards. Some metals, if you flex them a lot, they become stiffer over time, something called work hardening, and that causes the can to ultimately break open. You just need to put a lot of energy in.
This one I think is a strong life hack. This is great. However, the noise of that can going back and forward on the rock.
You could join in a German industrial band. You know? This makes great music. Yeah, it's fun.
This can-do can hack proves as long as you've got a lot of time, you don't always need the right tools to get a job done. It's a hunger-busting hit! Eventually. Back at Hack HQ, the lads are still messing about with fire. Can someone just take those matches off them?
So, have you got like a degree in fire?
No, I'm a fully certified pyrotechnician.
He is, I've seen the certificate. He carries it around everywhere.
So, in the world of life hacks, fire is important, isn't it? You know, for warmth and kind of survival. And what's this?
Everyone needs a big campfire, right?
This is a big campfire.
Yeah, and we've got a big way to ignite it.
Of course you have, Mike.
So down here, I've got some potassium permanganate.
Because everyone has potassium permanganate when they're alone in the wilderness, don't they, Mike?
And some glycerin.
Oh, vegetable glycerin. Look at that then, vegetarian-friendly glycerin. No animals were harmed,
No.
unless they crawled into the fire, in which case they're going to be horribly incinerated. What's the water for?
Right, potassium permanganate, it's a great survival chemical. So if I get a tiny, tiny few crystals of this and stick it into there,
Oh, right.
see that go pink?
Yeah, I thought this is just going to be to setting a fire. You can do more than that. You can
do
set fire
so
with
much
it.
more, yeah. Set fire to it. You can make safe drinking water. You go to a puddle, you put some puddled water into your drinking bottle, put some potassium permanganate in, and
You first, Mike.
cheers. Safe
So
to drink.
We're not just drinking it because it's pink and we want to look impressive at parties. This
No.
is now safe because it's pink.
Exactly.
Everything is better when it's pink.
What we're going to do is we're going to use this to start the fire.
Back on safe territory, as much as we can use the word safe with you, to be brutally honest.
Right, I'm going to dump all of this around the fire here. Look at that. There we go.
And what's the glycerin doing right
Well,
now
the
then?
glycerin is the reducing agent. So this is acting as the fuel
Okay.
for the potassium permanganate. I suggest we take a little step back.
Really?
You probably don't want to be downwind of it.
If Mike says take a step back, I'd take about 10 steps back, Stephen.
Now we've mixed the potassium permanganate and glycerin together, it then forms quite, look, see?
Ah, see, up until then it just looked like a crap sticky
Yeah, look
toffee
at that
pudding.
guy.
Not sure what puddings you grew up on, Stephen.
Wow.
That's a pretty good way of starting a fire, right?
Yeah.
Pretty explosive way. I'm stepping back a bit more.
That looks like lava. Okay, that's actually really quite hot.
It's really hot.
That is really hot.
I'm not sure, but I think that might be a bit hot. We've shown you the essential survival skills of not dehydrating to death, eating food for energy, and making a plastic rope out of a drinks bottle. But still to come, we've got some more survival tips, including one that's even more life and death than food or water. Yes, that's right, how to charge your phone in the wild. Before that though, here's one I know you've all been waiting for, how to make a cool bow and arrow. PVC, pretty vital contraption, a bow and arrow made out of PVC pipe, perfect for hunting. Enough questions, let's get some answers.
My immediate thought with this clip is weapons are cool.
We'd like to point out here that George's views do not reflect those of how hacks work, its production company or broadcaster.
Now, PVC is a great material for making something that you want to be strong and flexible. PVC is quite rigid in its normal form, but also when you bend it, it really wants to spring back. It has an elastic restoring force. So essentially, perfect bow material.
Honestly, here's the thing, I'm lazy, okay? So as far as I see with this, you get one of your dad's darts, put a little poison on the end, done.
If you're that lazy, you could just get a takeaway, Russell.
The force actually doesn't come from the bow and the arrow in itself in really any form. What's happening is you're just transferring energy from yourself into the arrow. So when you pull on the string on the bow, you're creating what we call potential energy. And once you've done that, the force is in the arrow and it can definitely go into an animal.
This hack is right on target. Bullseye! Your phone running out of battery is about the worst thing that can happen to anyone. The second worst thing is surviving in the wild when that happens. Luckily, we have a survival tip especially for this.
I don't think you could charge a phone with a potato, but you can get some electricity out.
To make a potato charger, the first thing you need is a potato and 2 bits of metal, one made of aluminium, the other made of copper. Although it might not taste like it, potatoes are filled with a mild acid. The aluminium reacts with this acid, and this creates spare electrons in the nail, making it negatively charged. It also fills the potato with positive hydrogen ions. Now, the nail would much rather be neutral than negative, so when you connect the copper and aluminium, the electrons travel along the wire to the copper, charging your phone in the process.
Now the problem is, in a potato, you get very little flow of electricity, very small current. So you'll need up to 1,000 potatoes, maybe more, to get the current you need to get that phone going. It works, just so slowly, you'd be bored and your phone would probably be out of date.
So when you do go on an expedition in the future, don't forget to take 1,000 potatoes. Or, you know, a portable phone charger.
Did you know that you actually can use a potato to contact someone? I'll show you how. So, for example, if I wanted to... Paul's in the distance over there. Paul!
In an emergency, this potato hack will let you send a text in about 3 hours. Not exactly cutting-edge technology. A miss, I'm afraid. Now, if you've ever set off on a wilderness adventure and somehow forgotten to pack a torch, lamp, or candle, but have remembered your trusty can of sardines, this hack will be catch of the day.
This is a solution to the guy with the rock, by the way. Like, bro, if you know you're probably gonna get lost, I'm just saying, like...
When you're burning something like an oil, generally speaking, you're burning a little layer of vapor on the top. And what you need is a temperature to get that vapor to ignite. It's known as the flash point. And with sunflower oil, which a lot of fishes are in, about 315 degrees Celsius. Easily lightable by just a lighter flame or something like that.
This one is logical to me. It might not have occurred to you that it would do it, but what you're essentially doing is making the least terrifying Molotov cocktail you've ever seen.
I've got my fish. You've got your torch, and it's really simple. You just like this, and then there you go.
I do like this hack. I mean, at the end of the day, if you do have a can with some oil in and some food, you want the food, but you may as well use the oil as well, so why not?
I wouldn't eat the candle afterward. I do eat regular candles afterward, though. You can't resist it. They smell so good. Vanilla bean? Mmm.
This fabulously fishy hack gives you a light bite. Literally, a bright, shining hit. From sardines to jeans now, as we show you how stripping off could save your life. All you have to do is tie the legs together into a square knot. Next, swing them over your head, catching as much air as possible before bringing them back down into the water. This technique is so effective that it's taught to all Marines. It's even been used to stay afloat in the Pacific Ocean for 36 hours. Having to lose your trousers is a small price to pay for surviving at sea. A life-saving hack hit. The countdown is over and the fuses are lit. There's no cannon too big, no dynamite too strong for Mike to handle. And with his trusty guinea pig Stephen, he'll try anything, so you don't have to. And after all those death-defying survival skills, I think we need to change down a gear. Unfortunately for Stephen though, that's going to involve Mike using chemicals to start fires.
Now, you've given me these, which worries me because whenever you hand me stuff, it normally means that you're slightly worried I might get hurt. And the fact that you're worried means it's very likely I will get hurt. What is this?
I would put on the safety glasses first of all,
Right, okay.
and then the gauntlets.
You see, the fact that you call them gauntlets and not gloves is worrying me already because that would normally be gloves, but gauntlets implies something major is going to happen.
I think you're right, Stephen.
Well, it might do, so it's always best to be safe.
Okay, and what
Yeah.
are you holding in your hands? Because as ever, it's another bottle of stuff which has no label on it.
It's a bottle of carbon disulfide with white phosphorus dissolved in it.
Well, now I know immediately what it is. What is that?
Well, white phosphorus, well, you know what phosphorus is. At the side of the matchboxes, you get red phosphorus. Well, this
Okay.
is the white phosphorus type. This is the one that spontaneously combusts when it comes in contact with air.
Now, in karate, white belts are safer than red belts, so is that the same way with phosphorus?
Nah, completely opposite.
Right.
Yeah, this is the most dangerous one.
Of course it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens if I spray this out?
Don't. Right, so with the white phosphorus, it is dissolved in this carbon disulfide, which is a strong solvent. Yeah?
Yeah.
When I spray it, the solvent is going to slowly evaporate away, leaving tiny, tiny particles of white phosphorus, which, because they're so tiny, it's then going to spontaneously combust.
Okay, what are we going to set fire to?
Well, this lovely sign. So let's walk over here.
All right.
I'm going to turn this onto the on position. You know when I said carbon disulfide is a strong solvent?
Yeah.
It's actually dissolved the inside of my trigger. So I think the best thing to do is just pour it on.
Pity you don't have a handy hack to make a new trigger, hey?
So now it's a waiting game. We wait for that carbon disulfide to evaporate away.
There we go.
There we go, there's a little bit. That's pretty cool, right?
No, it's brilliant.
It was much easier than the pump drill.
Yeah, no, I like that idea. Which
Yeah.
does beg the question, why didn't we do that to start with?
We've always got to put effort in to show how much it takes to start a fire, and this is much easier.
Yep, or again, just use a lighter. Not quite as dangerous though, I suppose.
We've seen 3 different fires,
Yeah.
3 different methods of starting it.
Yeah.
Which one's your favourite?
This was brilliant.
Yeah.
That's a proper fire because we are having marshmallows.
Which is the only way to judge fires in my experience.
Yeah, it was impressive. It was big. There was a lot of fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm pleased with that.
I'm full of refined sugar, so I'm a happy man. Hooray.
I think we can all agree every survival expert should have potassium permanganate in their kit.
Yeah.
I never leave home without mine.
And refined sugar.
Yeah.
Our survival episode has sadly burned out for now, so all that remains is for you to grab a can of sardines, a shredded plastic bottle, take your trousers off and head on out. See you next time!